Well, they just don't make them like they used to anymore. I mean, they really don't. I mean, something like this, something this cool, they just would never make it these days. They really wouldn't. A sealed copy of Cars on Blu-ray and DVD, by far the best film of the franchise, and then two exclusive Cars diecast that you really just can't get anywhere else. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than this for a Cars collector. At least I don't think so. That's why this pack deserves the name Ultimate Cars Gift Pack. It really does. So welcome on back to the Cars Garage, everyone. Today, this is just probably one of the coolest pieces I've ever reviewed. And it's so cool that I can't even open it. I really can't bring myself to open something like this. It's so old and it's so rare. Okay, it's not that old, but it is from 2010, which is over a decade ago. So I just think that it's just such a nostalgic looking pack. I've always looked at this online. I thought, wow, that's something I probably will never get, but it's just so cool. And honestly, I was very shocked to find out it's not worth half as much as I thought it was. I thought this was like a set worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and it is very elusive. It's very rare, but it's not worth as much as you think. It's only really worth around 50 to 100 at most on eBay. At least there's only like a few listings for it currently. But I was able to get this for only $20 American, which is insane, and then around $20 to ship, which is alright. So it came to around $50 Canadian, because I'm from Canada, so you had to go over the border and everything. So shipping has always been a little bit more money, but for this item, it's a pretty big, heavy item, I was pretty shocked. It was only $20. So very, very, very excited to just kind of discuss this pack and take a closer look at it. I just don't want to open it because this is something that I really want to keep packaged. Obviously, it's sealed and everything, as you can tell. And I just want to put it up there in my backgrounds of my videos on top the Cars shelf where those townies are sitting right now. And I think it deserves it. It's, been in the package so long. I feel like opening it would just kind of take something away from it. I mean, just look at that. If I opened it, this would not be here. The Cars 2 free movie admission. How cool is that? With this purchase, it says in theaters June 24th. I actually wonder if I was to bring that to the movie theaters and say, oh, I got a free ticket for Cars 2. I got it from this multi-pack of Cars and the Blu-ray. Free movie, please. What would they say? I wonder if they'd just laugh or they'd actually try to scan it. I mean, I don't even see a scan code. I don't even know how you would go about that. I don't really know. Well, that's cool to see. Very, very nostalgic. I'm so happy that's on there too. For a pack that's pretty cheap, like this one I got pretty cheap, it's actually in absolutely perfect condition. The only thing I noticed that was kind of gross was a little dirty on top. But I think I got it from like a movie reseller. Like it wasn't like a Cars eBay seller. I think this was the only Cars item he actually had. So I don't know. I didn't really care. As long as I have a copy of it, I'm good with that, and at least it's on the top. It's not like it's all dirty on the front. I tried to wipe it, but it seems to be kind of still staying down there, which is alright. But anyways, I love how all the detail it has in this amazing looking presentation for this pack. Of course, like all of the information here is like inside of an interstate sign. Very, very clever, very carified. And we got two 3D looking race flags on either side. Very nice. And then of course it just says what's in it. Blu-ray and DVD of the movie, and then two exclusive cars with custom Ransburg paint. So yeah, they never really liked to call cars metallic back then. They always like to call them Ransburg for some reason. I don't know why. I don't even know what the difference is. I don't think there is a difference. But maybe there is, I'm not really sure. It doesn't look like there's a difference though, they just look metallic to me. The gold is definitely different though than most cars that we've had before that are golden. Love all the pinstriping though it has in the sides, on side and bottom. Every single side has some pinstriping. And then on the top, a little bit of pinstriping, not as much. Looks like there's like a cutout little section here where you could probably punch a hole out of that, which I'm not doing for sure. And you can almost use this as like a carrying case, which is kind of cool. But I don't know why you would do that, because then you just ruin the packaging. I think packaging is a lot sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't matter. If it's just a Darla Vanderson, I kind of want to get her opened. I don't really care keeping her in the package. But sometimes packaging I feel like it's important to the car. It actually looks like it matches the car and everything, and it looks like it's more whole when it's in the package rather than when it's out. But that's not really always the case. Some cars I do think should be opened. But it's really just up to you, I think. Ultimate Cars gift pack. I just love how they really went all out. Really nice silver text Matches the logo font, kind of, or like the same like style. And then it even has two descriptions of both cars in the back. Cruise and Lightning McQueen doesn't actually label him as Golden Cruising McQueen, but he is obviously. And then doesn't really label Mater as Metallic either, but obviously he is. And it says it's date night for Lightning and Sally, and he really wants to look his best this time. So he cruises on over to Ramon's House of Body Art for a little wax and polish. But Ramon has a better idea and works his magic to create a whole new look that'll surely catch Sally's eye and turn a few heads too. Ka-chow. That's pretty cool. One thing I noticed when I was looking at this, right when I opened it, is this stock image, this prototype image of McQueen here. It actually has a little chip on the headlight. Look at that. Isn't that kind of weird? So whatever McQueen they took a picture of to take this like stock footage of to put on the back of this packaging, it obviously had a big chip on its headlight. I found that kind of odd and a little bit lazy on their part. I'm sure they didn't have another one laying around. I'm sure. It. you know. Oh, maybe they didn't actually, because it would have been a prototype. So maybe they wouldn't have had a bunch laying around. I don't really know. Either way, oh well. It's kind of cool. It's kind of comical actually. So I'm kind of glad they did that. And then Rescue Squad Mater here. Look how cool his stock image looks. So glad they actually provided the metallic version too, because they could have easily screwed that up and not done that. Because it's obviously more similar to his regular one than this one is, which is golden. But Mater's little description says, Mater's been telling the tallest tales this side of Radiator Springs. Did you know he was once a fire engine? He was, and he single-handedly put out a raging fire at the match and gasoline factory. And he even saved Lightning McQueen just as the building exploded. True story? Only Nurse Corey knows for sure. I don't know how Nurse Corey ended up getting in this description of this very obscure pack, but kind of funny. It's a cool little description. I don't really know. Like, technically, it's not geared towards this metallic version specifically. This golden one, I think, kind of is, but they could very well just be talking about the normal red Cruising McQueen. I'm not really sure, but I think they're talking about the golden one. I'd assume. But the back side of this, or like the back of this side of the packaging, really is just the same as your typical Cars Blu-ray. They didn't really do too much there, which is understandable. I'm not gonna read the whole description and everything. You guys know what Cars is about. It says 2 thumbs up. Of course, got a nice picture of McQueen and a couple very nice images from the film. Got McQueen and Mater being chased by Frank. You got Doc and McQueen cruising down Willie's Butte. One thing that's weird is, movies starting in like the early 2000s, I think at least, they've always been made with that very, very like long screen. So when you put it on a normal TV screen, usually there'll be 2 black bars on the top and bottom. Well, it's funny because Cars was made at a time where things were still kind of old-fashioned in a way, like with the media world. Of course, like VHS were just starting to be kind of phased out, and Cars was actually lucky enough to get a VHS release, the final Disney movie ever to get released on on VHS, and it's so rare now these days that it's actually worth like thousands of dollars. But what I was gonna say is, for that VHS release, they actually made a widescreen version of Cars, which is, like this would be the typical frame, right? It would end there. Well, they made one that was like up to there, so it would fit the box style of like an older square box shaped like TV screen. A lot of people, if you're really young, you may not even know what I'm talking about, a very old squared shaped TV. But I just find that really cool. The animators were so passionate about the movie that they didn't want it to look weird on old-fashioned TV if you're watching Cars like that way. Because of course, like that's really slim. If you're watching on a TV that's a big box like that shape, it's gonna look a little strange. Obviously, it's gonna look like there's a lot of the movie missing. So I mean, how cool is that? They actually went in and reanimated it, and you can't even tell that they did because it just looks so seamless. So cool. I just find that really cool, and that's why I think Cars is probably the best Cars movie. I always like to say Cars 2 is just because I know it makes people mad because no one likes Cars 2. But I do think that Cars has a better meaning and story, obviously, than Cars 2. And then Cars 3, pretty good too, but I still have to say it's the weakest one out of all 3. And Cars on the Road, of course, too. Almost like a movie. I did like that a lot. But anyways, we got Mater down here, Sally, Ramon with his hydraulics on, and then Luigi and Guido, of course. And it just kind of says basically everything that's included on the discs, everything on the Blu-ray and everything on the DVD. It, of course, actually comes with the Mater and the Ghostlight short, the first ever Cars short. Many, many more to come after that, though. That is why we have Rescue Squad Mater here. Of course, Mater was just such a fun character that they decided to give him his own TV series, kind of like a series of shorts. So Cars has gotten quite a bit of it's gotten a lot of media now. It has two TV shows pretty much. Cars on the Road and Mater's Tall Tales, and Tales from Radiator Springs technically, so technically three. And then of course it has three movies. So I'm hoping for more fun stuff like that in the future. I don't even know if I want a Cars 4 to be honest, because I just don't know what it could even be about at this point. I honestly would rather have I don't know. I want them to return to Cars 2, like that kind of storyline. I want to see Finn again. I want to see Holly again. But I know that's not going to happen. So I guess if I'm being realistic, I'd rather just see I don't know. Maybe just a season 2 of Cars on the Road. Maybe just a Cars 4 if it could be good enough. I'd like to see it. But even if it's not good, I'm still going to buy all the diecast anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But anyways, I guess I will read the description a little bit. Says hotshot rookie race car Lightning McQueen, Owen Wilson, Big Snoss, is living life in the fast lane until he hits a detour on his way to the most important race of his life. Stranded in Radiator Springs, a forgotten town on the old Route 66, he meets Sally, Mater, Doc Hudson, voiced by Paul Newman, of course, and a variety of quirky characters who help him discover that there's more to life than trophies and fame. How cool is that? Revved up with a sensational soundtrack, the ultimate in picture and sound and hours. Seems like that was a weird way to say that. Of exciting bonus features. Cars fires up on all cylinders in his Blu-ray and DVD pack. How cool is that? And I didn't really read the top part, but it's just talking about uh, Toy Story, Incredibles, Finding Nemo. Honestly, I don't even like other Pixar movies that much. Other than Toy Story 3, I can't say there's a Pixar movie I really just love. I really can't. I think some of them are alright. Monsters Inc., it's alright. Nemo, I never really cared for that much. Wally, I don't like that movie at all. I know everyone does, but I can't stand it. Yeah, just a lot of. Oh, Up's okay, I guess. I kind of liked Up. But other than Cars, I really can't say I love Pixar all that much, other than the Toy Story movies, kind of. No, really only Toy Story 3, to be honest. But I did bring in um, the Blu-ray of Cars that I previously had. This is the 2011 version. By the way, I think I mentioned it, but this one's from 2010. And I think it was sold throughout 2011 too. So this is one of the final ways to get this version of Cars on Blu-ray with this specific poster art there, which is so cool. By the way, I just love that poster art. I know I already said it, but I just can't stop talking about it. It's so nostalgic to me. And this one, it just doesn't even compete. I mean, it's just a basic image that we've seen a million times before of McQueen, Sally, and Mater. You can't put that on a picture. These images were specifically made for this pack alone, or for this poster, for this Blu-ray alone. And these ones, it's like they just took stock images and just slapped them on just a regular background at Radiator Springs, which once again we've seen before. And then this side is just a red checkered flag. It just doesn't have that same it factor, I guess, that this poster does for the Cars Blu-ray. I just think this one looks so much cooler. It's a pretty old one, at this point. It's still from 2011. Or, actually, it says 2011, yeah. So it probably came out in 2012, maybe. But the backside of things is actually pretty much the exact same as the backside of this, for the most part. It still says, oh no, this one says an instant classic. This one says 2 thumbs up. But, still got the same images from the movie and everything. Just a little bit different here and there. I just love this one so much. I really do wish I could open this. I just can't bring myself to do it. I really can't. I also brought in Cruise and Lightning McQueen, though. Just a regular diecast of him. Trying to get a close-up of these guys. I know you can't see much of them in there. I mean, it feels wrong. I'm talking about cars, and I'm not actually looking at the actual diecast cars very much. More so talking about the packaging and the history of this pack. But, guys, maybe if I get another one day, or maybe I'll get a loose McQueen, and I can review them then. But I just don't really want to open this. It's just too cool to me. It looks so good in the packaging. And that's all there really is to it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy this one. I certainly had a fun time just talking about it. I really wanted to discuss this pack, whether I open it or not. I thought you guys would enjoy. So, hope you did. With that, though, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all next time on the Cars Garage.